All right, welcome back to another week of Brothers on the Green. We have PGA Tour Pro Dice, and we got myself, Bobby DeForio. Happy to be back. Not quite as fun to talk about as the Masters or the RBC Heritage, but
Yeah.
we'll recap the Zurich a little bit. We had a few sweats in there, which better than not having a sweat, I guess. And then
Yeah.
we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming week, the CJ Cup, and then the Ryder Cup. We'll just give our picks, right? Obviously, there's a certain amount of locks on each team right now, whether they're qualified or not. And then talk about the other bottom end of the teams, which are a little sketchy right now, especially on the U.S. side. So
Yeah.
we'll be a little bit of a shorter one today. But we'll get into it and get going. So to start, Zurich Classic, finally Novak and Ben Griffin broke through, right? I
Yep.
mean, they were both due, especially Novak, right? He's been in three final groups this year, fourth last week. But the
hmm
first three, it went well at RBC. He played great golf on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just had a nice putt to win it. And the other two times he was in the final group, did not play his best golf, right? They were
Yeah.
both in the low 70s, which, a lot of times isn't going to get it done on those easier courses.
hmm
But it was a fun week to watch, right? It got competitive there at the end. The Højgaard brothers, who we talked about, right? They played some great golf. They hung in there.
hmm
So who do you want to chat about, Dice?
yeah, I mean, overall good week, like you said, big win for Novak and Griffin in terms of just like their PGA Tour future. I mean, obviously Novak's been playing well, was already getting like the points he needs, going to be in the playoffs, everything like that. But just in terms of having that win, securing the card, for sure the next, what is it, 2 years it is?
2 years, yeah, and it
Yeah.
gets them into
All
some
the
of the bigger
elevated.
events. Yeah,
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously, they still got to get their own at some point to really validate themselves. But overall, big win for them. And then, obviously, like you said, good week by the Hoggard brothers. Didn't quite get it done, but they
Højgaard.
Whatever, Hoygaard brothers. We say it wrong all the time, but Hoygaard brothers. They had a good week. They yanked it way left on 18. They almost, had a chance. They did end up birdieing that hole still, but obviously Griffin's put on 17 sort of put it away. And then our one of our picks that we had, Phillips and Thor Bjornsson, actually, made a pretty solid run. They made the cut on the number, made a couple putts or, hit a couple good shots, hit a couple putts on Sunday to really get it close, but one bad swing on 17 sort of ended their chances. But I mean, outside of that, it's a slower week. I mean, I can't track anything. There's literally no shot data in terms of actually tracking it live how I normally do. So that was a bit annoying for myself because I'm an addict with that. But pretty solid week. And then obviously Live as well. They saw who won? Neiman won over there and got another win on Live. Still waiting for him to do something in a major that's worthy talking about. But outside of that, I'm definitely excited to get going with these next couple weeks and get into another major.
Yeah, Neiman locked himself in for the U.S. Open now, which being
Yep.
the top point scorer on Live. Bryson again, another Sunday on Live. He did not perform well.
Yeah.
It's Sundays are tough no matter where you are, right? Your weaknesses can catch up to you a lot easier. And for him,
hmm
it's just struggling to get the ball close to the hole, right, and give himself a lot of chances.
Yeah.
That was cool to see some of those drives up in that elevation.
It's crazy.
I watched a few holes on Friday, and the one hole that I did see of Bryson, it was a 223 par three. He
Maybe
hit
like a
nine
nine.
iron, 20 yards over the green, like
He
nuclear.
he made E go on two the first 2 days. It's like he had a three wood to like 20 feet and then 10 feet, just stuck
Yeah.
it like a wedge shot. I mean, it was some sick golf, but yeah, he definitely has some struggles right now on, the final round of these tournaments.
Yeah, I mean the Masters we saw, and then the last two live events.
Yeah.
It's been a similar story, but
That's what happens when one part of your game isn't as sharp though, right? With the irons just being as poor as they've been, it's tough to really get through, especially pressure moments when they're letting you down that much.
yeah, no, 100%. But honestly, one thing I was thinking about just at the Zurich, you see all these young guys, that they don't really compete week in, week out. They just have so much speed. I mean, you got
Oh,
Frankie Cappen, you got Phillips and Thor Bjornsson, right?
hmm
Celinda and Velo. These
Just
guys all
deep.
hit the ball so far.
Yep.
And it's again that doesn't always help, especially when the pressure's on, when you got to control a wedge in there or get pin high on a hole.
Yep.
it makes it a little bit tougher, right? Compared to, guys who can control their speed a little bit with the iron. So
Yeah.
that's stuff they'll learn over time, right? Højgaard brothers, same thing. They're nuclear, both of them.
Nikolai, especially, I feel like.
Yeah, no, he is nuclear. Hit one drive like 390 something.
That's,
They had lob wedge in on a 490 hole,
I
which
know
must
the
be
long par
nice.
four on the back.
I'm going driver right now with my swing on those 490 hole. But there's so much talent out there. It's fun to watch, right? I mean, all of these guys can make birdies in bunches.
hmm
Nick Taylor, Adam Hadwin, disappointing week overall, I'd say. They
Yeah,
played
I mean
well in
they're just
alternate shot.
their games aren't that sharp, it feels like.
No, they're not making a lot of birdies or enough birdies at least to compete.
hmm
So that's the Zurich, right? Nothing crazy. It was again a fun Sunday to watch and follow, but it doesn't really, mean much at the end of the day except for the winners, right? I mean
Yeah,
that
just a
definitely
good
sets them
change
up.
up, really, compared to the rest of the year. Just a nice little change up
I think it'd be
format.
fun to watch if all the top guys played in that. I mean,
It'd be
I could
sick.
see it being a fun event to watch without a doubt.
You got all the big names connected team by team. I mean, that would be a sick event, but I mean, that's never can't really imagine unless you're a Zurich partner as a bigger player that you're really coming back, unless you're, defending like Rory and Shane did this year.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys are just so spoiled. They don't want to. It feels like it's wasting their time to be at an event like
It's
this.
Collins' one lower field event, and because he's a Zurich partner.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, 100%. All right, so let's get into the CJ Cup. This
Yes.
is a bomber's paradise, right? It seems like, from memory and from looking at the course, you can hit the ball pretty much wherever off the tee,
hmm
right? And it really comes down to iron play, which it's not like it's too severe when you miss the greens. It's just everyone's going to have chances to get it close. So you got to give yourself ample opportunities on a day in and day out basis.
Yeah.
So we're really looking at, good iron players. Obviously, bomber helps when you get more wedges in. There is a few longer par fours out there, because it's two short par fours and it's still almost 7,500 yards long, right? So there's a lot of
Yeah.
450 plus par fours out there.
Big time.
Par fives are very scoreable, right? They're not
Yep.
too long. So it is a golf course that lends itself to a longer hitter just because there is no penalty to miss the fairway, really.
Yep.
Get a little less control on the golf ball, but again, if you're a longer hitter, you're going to have wedges coming in. So
Exactly.
your bad shots will be 30, 40 feet, and you'll give yourself plenty of opportunities,
hmm
as long as you hit your irons better than Sam Burns, let's say.
Yeah. It seems like they're. I saw some like post about how they're growing out the rough a bit more, it seems like. But yeah, I think all in all, it's definitely going to be somewhat of an advantage to get it out there just because, like you said, a good amount of those longer par fours and then also taking advantage of those fives a bit easier than, if you're stay like 290 out compared to like 250 on some of those. So
Yeah,
I think it's going to definitely be an advantage to have some distance out there. But like you said, it's really just a matter of giving yourself enough looks and having the putter be hot for the week. Because the last 2 years when it was held at this course, Jason Day won in 2023 at 23 under. And then last year, Taylor Pendrith won at 23 under as well. So, I mean, you got to get to the minus 20 plus range. And obviously, as easy as a course might be, that's going to take making some putts on the week.
yeah, no, 100%. I'm looking here. So the par fives, we got number five is 569, right? That was the second easiest hole. Number
Yep.
nine is 564. That was the third easiest hole.
They're the three easiest.
Yeah, and then we got 18, 552. It was the easiest hole,
Yep.
right? So
And
the
then
par fives,
you have 6 and 14 as well, which are like 340 and 310 par four, so two drivable par fours as well.
yeah, they have six listed as 360, but I think they move it up a couple of the days to make it
Yeah.
really
Well,
drivable.
I was just looking because I looked at last year's like Taylor Pendrith, all four of his rounds just to see. And I mean, the longest like either one of them was on any of the 4 days was 347. So I mean,
Yeah,
if you have the distance, it seems like you could probably get it all four
yeah. At
days.
least
But
it's up
obviously,
and
those
down.
five holes are going to be pretty key in terms of just taking advantage of them day by day.
Yeah, without a doubt. So
Yeah.
that's what we got at TPC Craig Ranch, right? It's a birdie fest.
hmm
There are some wins expected, right? Nothing crazy, probably pretty average Texas winds, right? Wednesday is going to be really windy and a little bit of rain, so it's not going to dry the course out too much when you get some precipitation, obviously.
Yep.
Thursday, we're looking at, up to 16-mile-an-hour gusts in the morning, 8-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and then by 1 p.m. it's 3-mile-an-hour winds with 5-mile-an-hour gusts. So really
That's
nothing.
big. Yeah.
Friday morning, we got 13-mile-an-hour sustained winds with 22-mile-an-hour gusts, right? And then 4 p.m., similar story, 13-mile-an-hour winds, but with 16-mile-an-hour gusts. So, I could see that the waves being pretty even there, right? Friday will play
Yeah.
a little bit tougher. Saturday throughout, it's 10 miles an hour with, like 15-mile-an-hour gusts. And then Sunday, similar to Saturday. So the wind will be a factor. Uh,
Yeah.
but for these guys, the way they strike the golf ball, it won't, it's a one club wind at most.
Like, if they're gonna get after this course.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hmm.
All right, so we have some picks that we'll go through. We won't talk through the leaderboard like we normally do in its entirety. But just a few guys that obviously Scotty, right? I mean, plus 280. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it's
It's
plus
tough to
280, and the next
obviously,
guy is Spieth at 20 to 1. So I mean,
yeah.
it's just one of those leaderboards where he's really the obviously the top dog, and then you got everybody else. But I feel like this course, he might not. Just because they're going so low, it's hard to really, stand out as much as, he might do at some of those tougher courses with how sharp his game can be. So I think that might be mitigated a little bit, but obviously the price still, I guess, makes sense just based off name value.
Yeah, and of course it's Scotty. I mean, he is significantly better than anybody in
Of
the
course.
field. So it makes sense. But like you said, it's a shootout week, right? I mean, if
Hmm.
this was on a tough course, he'd probably be plus 100.
Yeah,
Uh, since it is a shootout, his putting is going to have to be sharp for a majority of the week.
exactly.
Spieth, right, 20 to 1. I mean, you have no idea what this guy's going to do. He can miss the cut. He could shoot 63 on Thursday. More than likely, he'll shoot like 68 with 8 birdies and 2 doubles, if I had to
Yeah.
guess. But he's always fun to watch, and he needs a win on a week like this. One for momentum, and two, I'm sure he cares more about getting on that Ryder Cup team more than anything, right?
Yep.
He is far out. That's still has got to be his main goal for the rest of the year, I'm sure.
No, obviously, I'm sure he wants to compete in those majors, but at the end of the day, in terms of actual, goals outside of just winning itself, is putting himself in definite position to get chosen by Keegan when it comes Ryder Cup time.
Yeah, because he did the last major at Bethpage at PGA. He came T3rd, which
Yeah.
is another one of the times where he was struggling.
Yeah,
Right?
and
And
he's got
he
the
kind of,
distance now. It's like he gets it out
oh
there well.
yeah,
Obviously, his short game is what it is. It's just a matter of like getting that somewhat consistency back in his game instead of just being so erratic like he's been, it seems like forever now.
yeah, consistency with the irons because he'll have good days and then he'll have terrible days,
And then
right?
all of a sudden
Putting,
his wrist gets stiff and it's like I gotta get it loose again. So I mean it's I don't know. It's just been a lot sort of like I don't want to call it excuses because he was hurt, but it's just time that he actually gets sharp and really gets into a rhythm for a couple tournaments and gets some consistency.
yeah, no, for sure. So you have, I know you want to talk about your boy Ben On.
Yeah, Ben On. He's at 25 to 1. So I mean a very low price for he hasn't won on the tour, right?
I
I
feel like
don't
he
think so.
definitely won, no?
No, I don't believe he's won at all. Let me make
I mean,
sure.
he choked away that Sony in Hawaii.
Oh, I remember that. I was on him then too. How many tour wins does Ben On have?
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
sure he has zero. Yeah, he's got no wins on the tour at least. So
Wow.
it's yeah, so it's obviously a very low number for somebody without any wins, but he's found something a little bit better lately. Obviously, if you go back to the Valspar, I'm not sure exactly what he finished at, but he played very well there
He's
on
played
during
better
round.
than he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was at -10, up by like 3 on Saturday, and he definitely like he shit the bed,
Oh,
really
yeah. Yep.
really just performed poorly once he got up by a couple strokes there on the back nine. But his game's definitely coming into a little bit better form. And like we said, distance should be a factor this week. It could be a really big benefit for you. And obviously, we know with Ben On, he can stripe it off the tee. But his one issue is, it's putting. It's can he make the putts? Can he not? He can get a little bit hot with the putts where, we've seen him get to 20, 21, 22 under par. Like he has the ability to get there. It's just a matter of like, can he put it all together and make enough putts? And I think for this type of field, even though it's a little bit of a low price, 25 to 1 with his game, I do like him for this week.
Yeah, I mean, and that used to be your guy. You've gone through phases of, having one guy that's really on the top of your mind at all times.
Yeah.
At one point, it was Ben on. I do remember that.
Yeah, that's going back to the start of last year because he competed. He played well at the Century, and then he went to where what was that guy's name again? Feel bad.
Who, what for what?
The one that won when Ben was in the playoff with him.
Oh, Grayson Murray.
Yes, he played great at that event, and Grayson just made like a 40-footer, and then Ben missed a
It's a
4-footer to
three-footer, yeah.
extend the playoffs. So I mean, he's shown the ability to get in that contention, and obviously, like we just said, he has the game. And I don't know, I don't have the number, but I think it's too good of a course for him with this poor of a field.
Yeah. I mean, my boy Siwoo, me and our one guest Tyler had a phase where Siwoo was our guy. I mean, I love his game. He can get it out there when he wants to. I don't love this setup for him because he is more of a guy to where they had the RBC. What's it called?
He's a plotter.
He's a plot, exactly. Yeah, he's a plotter. He hits that stinger. It's friggin'
Hmm.
beautiful.
He
Um,
hits darts though. When he's on, when his eye, like when
oh,
his irons are on Friday, Saturday, it was ridiculous.
his irons are unbelievable.
Oh,
He and
and he's
his
back to a
putting.
short putter.
Yeah, he's back to the short putter. He's been with the tall guy, middle length. Now he's back to
That's
the
a big
short.
change from the broom to the
Yeah,
blade.
he's just looking for something because his ball striking is elite.
He putted well outside of I think it
Yeah,
obviously wasn't good Sunday, but he was leading the field the first 3 days until he missed that like almost like shanked the 4-footer on 18 after
yeah,
JT made it his birdie putt Saturday.
yep. That is correct.
Yeah.
They got Sam Burns up there still. I mean, I heard Rick Rungood talking about it. Sam Burns has one tournament with positive strokes gained approach to
Like
the green
it's
since
like
the
Cam.
fall. Yeah, it's somehow. I mean,
But Sam's priced at 30 to 1 still. I mean, it's just
yeah.
it's not a good enough number. I mean, he's been putting the shit out of the ball. I think he's like third or fourth on tour this year, but I mean, he literally is only at those numbers because his approach play is so shit that he's got to make a couple bombs to simply make the cut.
You combine him and Zalatoris, that'd be a lethal player.
Oh, at this point, with Burnt, he really does. Like when I watch him putt, he does just look so confident over the ball, but that completely goes away once he gets to a buck 25 away.
Yeah, 100%. So one guy I like this week, Steven Yeager.
Hmm.
He's played well in Texas before, plenty of times. He does
Yep.
enjoy Texas, but also just the type of golf course he's able to just go ahead and rip his driver, which he's put on a
He
lot of
loves it.
speed over the last few years. Yeah, he loves to just rip at the ball. So Yeager, his irons have been pretty solid this year.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the stats to back that up, but just the eye test, right? And when he has played well, it's been very, very good. And his putting is a good spot as well. I mean, he's a confident putter. He doesn't leave many putts short, which I like. And he's
Makes a lot of
fast.
birdies.
He makes a lot of birdies, 100%. So Jaeger will be one of my plays. He's 40 to 1. I do like Jaeger and a few other guys, right? Me and you were chatting about. So the Hoygaard brothers, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, coming off a solid week, they need more solid golf. Both of them, same story as Spieth. They're looking for that Ryder Cup spot. They're in much better
Yeah.
spots than Spieth, right? I mean, right now Rasmus is in the money in terms of being on the team. Nikolai is a little bit down.
Yeah.
Where is Nikolai?
Feel like they just neither of them have like I know Rasmus has a little bit this year, but like have they either of them really like they haven't won on the PGA Tour, I know, but like have they
No,
been there on like late Sunday at all?
I don't. I mean, this is really their first full years out here.
Yeah, Rasmus is yes. Nikolai was here last year,
Nick
and I
is true.
mean
Nikolai was here last year.
I mean honest, I do like Rasmus is 45 to 1, Nikolai 65 to 1. So if I were to take one myself, I would, just preferably take Nikolai simply because the number's better, and I don't think like the disparity between the two is worth those like over those 200 cents there, or however you would put that.
Yeah, no, the odds difference for
Yeah.
sure. So all right, let's those are the guys we wanted to chat about. Let's give out some picks.
Yep.
So I'll start with I got three top 20s this week. All right, we got Jake Knapp, plus 250. Again, a guy that's been very consistent all year, has not been able to finish out a tournament. He's
Yeah.
been in a good spot, right? Last week he was in a good spot. The Honda, he was in a great spot when you were on him, Dice. He's played some consistent golf. I mean, he's striking the ball phenomenally. His putting is continuing to improve.
Yep.
And I love his game. He's got that full speed. This week he'll be able to rip at the driver. He can get up
Yep.
to 190 ball speed pretty easily.
And he can putt.
He can putt, but he also has the off-speed stuff as well, right? He's getting more and more comfortable flighting those wedges, hitting the off-speed stuff, and even off the tee, he hits that off-speed driver nice when he can flight it down and just get into play.
Yep.
So I do like Jake Knapp at those odds, top 20. Ryan Fox, that's my guy. I don't know why. I love him. He's a beast. Plus 360, top 20. He's a bomber as well. And he's a guy, right? Really, he gets into trouble off the tee on the tight courses and making a silly double pretty much every round. This week, I don't think that should be in play as much.
Yeah.
And he's a solid putter. He's a very streaky putter, but when he is putting well, he is extremely confident and really rolls that rock.
Yeah. You
Uh,
love Foxy.
Last top 20 I got is Davis Riley.
Yeah.
I've been on him a couple times since he started to play well, right? To start the year, he was finishing dead last in every
Lost.
event. He was completely lost, and he turned it around pretty quick, which credit to
Yeah.
him, right, for, sticking with it and really figuring it out.
Yeah.
So I like him plus 400, a Texas boy. The course fit isn't great for him, to be honest, right? I mean, he's not a bomber, but he's very consistent with the long irons right now. So I like Davis Riley plus 400. So I got Jake Knapp plus 250, Ryan Fox plus 260, or sorry, plus 360 for Fox, and Riley plus 400, all top 20.
All right. Beautiful. I definitely like those. Definitely, I Nap specifically would be my main one I would like there, just because I mean, really everything you talked about. His game's been sharp all year, and he could also make enough putts to. Not obviously, top 20 is one thing, but I could definitely see him being up there at a in terms of maybe like a top five guy come Sunday and actually in contention with how sharp his game's been. But so a couple things I got. So outrights. I know you just gave out top 20, but for the three outrights, I know we spoke about Ben on earlier. I'm on him at 25 to 1. And then I have two others. I got Ryan Gerard 65 to 1. And this is a guy we both been on. I know you've been on him in the top 20 market for the most part. And then I had him top 20 once, I think, and I also took him outright at the Valero when that's the Valero
Top
when
five he
Harman won,
came,
right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he came in second. I mean, he finished great. He had a great Sunday and actually gave Harmon a run, but just had a bad hole on 18. But either way, 65 to 1 this week. He's not the longest side, but I looked at distance. I mean, he's in the positive for it compared to tour average. So I mean, he can get it out there how he needs to. He's a great iron player. We know he could just hit darts all day. He's going to give himself plenty of chances. And numbers wise, at least, just based off what they're saying, he's a great putter too. So I mean, all of that stuff put together, this course being as open as it is, if he gives himself the chances like chances that he has all year and puts it, remotely close to what he has, he should give himself a pretty solid shot come Sunday if he could just get up there to the minus 24, 25 range at that point. But I like that number with Gerard. And then my other one in the similar range, I got Michael Thorbjornsen 75 to 1. I was on him, as we know, 2 weeks ago at the Punta Cana. And I was on him and Phillips last week, and he's just a kid that's like fully trending at this point. Finally getting his game back to what it was when he, first came out of school at that point. And again, he's very long off the tee. So I mean, this should be a good fit for him. He's finding his irons. He's just got to, get a couple more putts to fall, but also at the same time, he's proven that he can go low. Like going back to last year at the John Deere, he was minus 24 and came in second place. So, I mean, he has that ability to go low for a couple days in him. And I just think he's trending in a pretty solid number again for like a, not the best field.
Yeah, he had an amazing amateur career, right? Thor Bjornsson. He's a New England kid, right? He's from up in the Northeast area, which you always love to see.
Hmm.
The Challenge Cup stuff we used to play in as juniors, right? He would play in that stuff, many age groups older than he was and dominate,
Yep.
right? So he's had a great amateur career. Then he went into college, had a bunch of wins at Stanford. And so it's just a matter of time for him. I agree. he does. I would say his one thing is flighting the ball, right? I mean, he played well in the wind at Bermuda, but he just lets the ball rip with his wedges and
That's literally what happened on 18 at the it was Punta Cana when he
Punta
was
Cana, yeah.
tied for the lead after Joel bogeyed 17. It was just hounding wind all day. He just couldn't flight it as like, as much as he needed to into that wind, and he missed short left, didn't get up and down and made the bogey. So I mean, I have seen that a little bit actually.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a lot, again, that's a lot to do with his speed, and it's tough to take speed off, right? And that's just going to come with reps and being out on tour, because these pins and this test is different than, college golf and amateur
Yeah.
golf, which is no joke, right? Amateur and college golf at that level. But, this is a different test, right? To get to the numbers you got to get to, you got to be dialed in for pretty much the entire week.
Yeah.
So, all right, I like any other outright you got? Those were.
Um So I got those three, and I might add on Aldrich at he's at 120 to one, but his game's just been so poor since Campbell's ball bounced back inbounds that playoff fight in Mexico. So I mean, I don't know if I could really do that. I might add it, but outside of that, honestly, nothing really stood out too much. Just those three.
Yeah, a few guys. So I got my outrights coming. A few guys I just wrote down that I'm gonna be just keeping an eye on. Sammy Valimaki, right? I
100 to
like,
one.
yeah, I like where his game is at. He's been pretty consistent over the last couple months. He's got a lot of talent, right? I mean, if he gets a win, he'll be close to in position for the Ryder Cup as well.
Wow.
And then Chris Gotterup, another guy that. He's just a bomber. I mean, and he has not been consistent by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
That's really why I won't take him this week. But I can see him getting himself in contention, and you never know what'll happen on Sunday with a guy like that.
He spikes. He has spike weeks at these types of events. So I mean, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised either.
yeah, and it's good value, right? Because like you said, I mean, it's either a spike job where he gets himself in contention, or he'll miss the cut by six. So
Yeah.
that's the problem there. So my four outrights, I was talking about him before. I got Steven Yeager plus 4,000. Just seems like a good fit for him, right? He's played well in Texas in the past. Just gonna rip it off the tee. His irons are dialed in. His putting is solid. So I like Yeager this week. Matt Wallace plus 8,000. Another guy who's starting to trend, right? He's starting to play well. I don't love him if it gets too windy, but I do like the wind conditions for him.
He's played great on the DP.
He's played a lot of good golf in his day,
Hmm.
and as of recent. So I
Hmm.
do like Matt Wallace this week plus 8,000, and then I got two guys plus 9,000. Toasty, he's this whole year has
Close.
been very consistent, right? I mean, I love how emotional he is out there. He does not hide how he's feeling. But he just played well in Houston, right? Similar sort of setup. It's just a bomber's paradise. Rip it off the tee.
He loves Birdie Fest.
And he hits it 330, 340, so he's going to have mostly wedges into every single hole.
Yep.
And he's been putting decently. So I do like Toasty plus 9,000. And then my last outright is Gary Woodland plus 9,000. Another
Yep.
guy that's trending, right? So I got four players that have all been moving in the right direction in terms of their game and in terms of consistency. But with Gary, right, Houston as well, got to minus 19, had a phenomenal Sunday, was absolutely feeling it, right?
Hmm.
I mean, he was really feeling himself out there, which is the first time in a long time. And it would just be a great story, right? He's a Texas boy. Oh no, sorry, he's a Kansas boy.
He's a great Texas player. He
He's a
plays well
great
in
Texas.
Texas.
He's played well in Texas. He is from Kansas. I knew that. All right. I don't want to sound like a scrub. But he's a guy that I'm taking this week. So I got Toasty and Woodland plus 9,000, Yeager plus 4,000, and Wallace plus 8,000
All right.
as my outrights.
Yeah. Some just names that we probably won't say too much this year, this week, it seems like.
No, but I mean, would be great to see Gary get in form again. And
Oh, big time. I mean, I have like my two top 20 real quick. I got Gary, like you have him outright. I got him top 20 plus 320. And then I have Aldrich at a plus 450. I think those two, just how deep they are off the tee, even though, they haven't played great this year outside of, one time in Houston for Gary, one time in Mexico for Aldrich. I just think how this course should fit their game. And if they make a couple of putts, I really see those two numbers, at least value wise, for those two players is a pretty good number.
Yeah, without a doubt. I do like those top 20s. All
Yeah.
right, so we'll post all the plays tonight onto Twitter. And hopefully we improve the record a little bit this week. But next week we'll give an update on where we're at. I mean, we're
Got
very
another win
positive.
this week, and then just it's then we got two big events in a row. We got the Truist, and then we got the PGA. So obviously two, I'd say do two a little slower weeks. This should be a good week overall. Just getting back to the normal swing of things, and then two big boy events, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, and just a message to the PGA Tour. If you want to provide us with passes for the Truist, that would be great. We're in the area. I don't feel like spending $380 on a ticket to go watch on Friday.
Yeah,
I know there's going to be some good golfers there, but I don't mind the comfort of my own couch without having to spend that type of money. So PGA Tour, you want the brothers on the green at your event. I'll tell you that right
should be
now.
great.
All right, so that is the CJ Byron Nelson. Let's move on. We want to talk briefly about just give our Ryder Cup picks, and
Yes.
then we'll get on out of here.
All right. So real quick for the for Ryder Cup. So we were talking about before, Bobby, the locks for this year. So I mean, we're thinking there's seven locks as of right now, and those seven being Scotty, Xander, Colin, Bryson, Henley, JT, and Cantley. I think we both think that those are basically the seven true locks as of right now, and then the five, I mean, honestly, are fully full. I mean, a couple guys probably have a leg up for the most part, but pretty much fully up for grabs, it seems like still.
Yes. So I think you threw out some interesting names there for
Yeah.
the top five that you're thinking about. We didn't share who we wrote down, so I'll list my five. I'm already regretting a couple, but that's all right. I'm just gonna say who I wrote down. I got Akshay, as John likes to say, Ashk. We got Daniel Berger.
Oof.
I got Novak, Andrew Novak, Brian Harmon, and Pat Reed. All
Oh
right, those are my
my.
five. Berger does not, he's a dog. He is
Burger.
I mean, his injury had him out for years. He was a top American golfer before
No, he
that,
what? And he's playing well. He
and he's
is.
playing well. He's a great putter of the ball. He's hitting his iron solid again. I mean, he is a good driver as well. He just hits that really only hits a fade. He can turn it over, but he's really got to force it.
Yeah.
Um, so Berger, Akshay,
I
I
love
guess,
it.
yeah, Akshay. We need some young blood on the team. We need some new energy. His putting, I know, has been better this year, but it scares me under pressure still. That's the only
Yep,
thing
I
that
agree.
worries me.
Numbers wise, it's good, but we've seen it fold under pressure.
Yeah, Novak. I know Novak won't be a popular name, but that guy really can hit any golf shot he's looking to hit. He is most comfortable hitting high fades, but he hit a lot of nice low draw long irons this week, and he has over the past couple weeks. I mean, RBC, he was pretty clutch on Sunday, so I think he's starting to turn the corner. He's put himself in the position enough. Would obviously like to see him play well in a couple majors. But the thing is, the guys below him, I don't see playing well in many majors where you get a majority of your points, right? I mean, we got JJ Spawn, Harris English, Tom Hogue, which I'm a
The
Hogue guy,
ranking, dude, the ranking should mean nothing to them when doing their picks.
Lucas Glover, Billy Horschel. I mean, Horschel again, that's a guy I want on the team.
Now he's got an injury or something.
Yeah, now there's something weird going
And he's
on.
not playing well enough. If he's going to have any sort of injury and then also not play this bad, I mean, and that page that long of a course, it's tough.
Yeah, so Harmon back to his dog self, right? He knows how to get in people's head. He knows how to make clutch putts, which
He does,
you have to be able to putt at the Ryder Cup, and that's why my last pick was Pat Reed because he's as clutch as they come in the Ryder Cup.
and he's playing well.
Before your time of following golf, him and Spieth in the Ryder Cup was
I've seen
potentially the
videos.
most electric thing ever. I mean, they would literally battle each other. They were just trying to outdo one another out there. So I got those five guys: Akshay, Berger, Novak, Harmon, and Reed, which feels terrible. I mean, I feel like we have no chance whatsoever.
But yeah, you got like I know some of them obviously have good names. Some of them are just having like a good year in terms of just how well they've been playing. I just feel like you got to have some of that, like just something builds up to your name. Like you
Who
can't
are
be
your
Andrew.
five?
I have I have Pat Reed. I have Dustin Johnson. I have Brooks Koepka.
All
I have Jordan Spieth, and I have Oxke.
right, so but these guys, we haven't won in Europe in 3 decades or ever.
We're not in Europe though. We're at Bethpage,
True,
where
but
Brooks has one, where Dustin came in second to Brooks, where Pat Reed. I mean, Pat Reed, you agree with? We both have Pat Reed and Oshke, and then I have Spieth over like a Harmon or
I would love all three of those live guys in it. It's just I don't think that's going to happen. They're not going
I
to
think
put.
they're at least taking two.
I don't see him taking DJ. He hasn't played well in a major since he went to live. I know he's been
I
playing
watched him
better.
on Live. He switched to the lab putter, and he was putting good, man.
Well, if you watch the YouTube videos, I forgot which one it
I've
was.
watched the UTA. He has like 10 putters in
He
his
has
bag.
like, yeah, he's a mental head case with the putter.
But I feel like if Brooks just plays well once in a major, just like
Yes.
once, they'll take him
He's
right
got to
away.
at least show.
Reed came in second at Augusta. If he plays well in one more major, I mean, that's
Yeah. No, I like Reed. I mean, he's played well on live. He's went over to Asian Tour event. He won that, right? He got himself into the British. So I respect where Reed is at right now with his game, and he's hustling. I mean, he was the one guy. Oh, I'm just going to play 14 events a
and
year.
Oshke just he deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's what is he 20th? Yeah, he's
I don't
20th on
get
the
the
list.
ranking. He's played well. He's the best ball striker out of the bunch that we listed, not automatically in that we think.
Like the fact that Ben Griffin moved up 24 spots for winning
And
at the
that's
Zurich.
disgusting. Like that's why you can't go off the rank. Like Ben, imagine Ben like JJ Spawn, we went by the
If they
rankings and it
pick
was just
Sam
stick.
Burns again, I'm rooting for Europe.
Imagine we took 7 through 12 just based off the rankings. Like how
Every
scary.
like they do every year, except for when Cam's in the seventh spot.
Fucking Maverick. I mean, I don't think
I know neither of
Maverick
us
should
said
be in.
Maverick, which he is a clutch putter, which is important. But he's got to play well in a major before you can take him.
I don't know if DJ could play well in like one major somehow. You got to get guys that are deep for Bethpage.
Is DJ even going to be in all the majors? I know he'll be in the U.S. Open for winning the U.S. Open, but is he
I
going to be
hope.
in the PGA and the British?
I think he's on the PGA.
Why though?
I don't know. When did he win Augusta? He won Augusta in 2020.
Oh, so that's normally it's at least the
5
last
years.
5 years.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so he
why.
should be in them still then.
Yes. Automatically qualified because he's a major champ in the last 5 years. But yeah, I just think I
It's just
agree with
slim
some of your
picking.
plays just based off like how they're playing, but it's just like you, obviously it's gonna be a first time for everybody at some point. But I just think with like coming off that beatdown,
Yeah, Dad's
you
not
got to
going to be
get some
happy with your
vicious
picks.
dogs in there, like
Yeah,
alphas, like big guys, Brooks Koepka and
I
Dustin
agree, but I don't think
Johnson.
Brooks. I love him. I don't even know if he gives a shit. Him and Scotty lost 9-8 to Hovland and Aberg in fucking
Well,
alternate
Brooks
shot.
wasn't playing well. He's got to start like he's playing. He's got to play well. I think he was playing better at Augusta until he
He
made
might have to
quad
go
on
to a
18 and missed
mallet.
the cut.
He might have to go to a mallet putter. Try
No,
something new.
he tried them out. It was bad.
Or yeah, at least put your gamer in a timeout for a couple weeks.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think obviously it's going to be a big change after Quail with just how people finish because there's a lot of points in these majors. So we could have another little talk
One,
about it then and see if anybody forced the issue, with getting themselves up there a bit more.
so name a guy outside the top 30 that you could see making a run to get in.
Like just rankings wise,
Besides Spieth.
I mean, you're basically just asking me to say somebody.
Oh, I'm not even. Oh, I wasn't even thinking who you're thinking. I'm
um,
thinking Will Zalatoris.
yeah, I could see Zalatoris.
Just all it comes down to is one or two good major runs, which he used to be so every major he was in contention at for a long time.
I mean, I would love to say Cam, but I mean, he's like beyond lost. He's like on Mars or something. I don't even know what to say.
It's sad. It's really sad.
It defeats me every week. Like I don't pick him. I don't pick him at all. Like I stay away because I can't embarrass myself, but I still track every shot.
Yeah,
And
on
then,
Saturday you're like, oh, we found it. Since hole 4, he hasn't missed a shot.
well, he did. He played phenomenal, and then it was just back to awful.
Just back to Loserville.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the US team, European team. So they just listen to this. Just listen to this team. Ludwig, Rory, Rahm, Hatton, Lowry, Rose, Fleetwood, Hovland. That's top eight are locked.
That's eight. Jesus.
That's their top eight.
Yeah,
And then
they're good.
I got Straka, who's been great.
Straka's a lot.
I mean, he's like 20th on the rankings.
How's he not? Yeah, I mean, he's played so well this. I can guarantee he's a lot.
19th on the rankings. I got
Hovland's gonna be a
Straka,
lot.
Hovland, yeah. Then I got McIntyre, played last year, right? He's played. He hasn't played great this year, but he's in 14th. I can see him finishing out the year strong. And then I got one live guy. I got Sergio. I think you got to give him one more shot. You got to give him one more run. He's been playing well this year. He's got a win on live. He's got a bunch of top fives.
The Masters miscut might hurt.
That hurts 100%. And he just missed the British Open spot when he played in that Asian Tour event by one stroke.
Hmm.
And then so I got Sergio as my 11th spot, and then 12th spot I have Aaron Rai right now.
Yeah, they're nasty. I mean, they're nasty.
Yeah. So it's gonna be
Like
hopefully
they
a
are all
close
so
Ryder Cup.
good. Like they're all so accurate off the tee, so deep off the tee, maybe outside of like Lowry. And then I mean they're all so nasty.
Yeah. No,
What
it's a
the hell?
problem. It is a
Jesus.
problem. I do not see it ending well for the Americans.
No, it might be and Europe's plus money. Listen, we got to go based off the data. So if Europe's the play, we'll have to give out Team Europe, but we'll see where everybody stands come that time.
Yeah, the last Ryder Cup a year or two before was like plus 300 for the Europeans, and
I
by the time
know.
we got there, it was even money.
They were like plus 200. They were probably a bit high. I know they weren't that high for sure, but they were probably a bit higher than this going back to when they set the line.
Yep. All right, so that's another episode. Anything else you wanted to finish off with?
No, let's just get back in the let's hit a couple of our top 20s, get some more profit there. Then like you said, we'll give an update on like how that all stands just unit wise, how much we're actually up based off the our full scale of top 20, top 10 action. And then I'm ready to get a fourth outright, and I know you're ready to get a first. So let's see if we can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm probably more of a top 20 guy, but
Yeah.
maybe one day it'll happen.
Top, you're like the like a Ben Griffin, Andrew Novak, top 10, top 20 merchant.
Yeah, and then I win an event like this. Mm. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
All right, good work.